Yellowjacket men headed out on the road for their final trip of the 2015-16 season. Kendall, you guys are playing at St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific this week. An exciting week. Last week on Tuesday, you guys played Alaska Anchorage and hit the most threes so far this season by a team in the GNAC, 17 of those. Talk about what it was like playing in that game.
This is a really fun environment. We came out, we started well, and it just carried on from there. To do that again, though, we just got to keep moving the ball like we did that game. We moved it really well. It was hard to guard. We got any shot we wanted, and that's just what we got to do to get that.
And then in that game, it was never in doubt that you guys had the lead. You never really relinquished it or anything. Against Alaska, you guys fought to the end, came up a little bit short, but just couldn't quite get over the hump. What was the difference in those two games last week?
We just didn't start out the way we did. Like I said, starting that way against Anchorage, it gives you confidence throughout the whole game when you're making shots. And when we played Alaska, like we couldn't find a rhythm early on, and then we finally found one. We had our chances to pull ahead and take the lead, and we just couldn't.
Senior Emmanuel Johnson has been really stepping up, playing his best basketball of his 2-year career here. Over his last dozen games, he's averaging more than 15 points. Talk about him, the way he's closing his career.
No, he's really stepped up for us. He's been playing well, like you said. And just having him step up kind of like has other people stepping up with him. He's been a good leader for us this year, and that's just what we needed from him.
And then Emmanuel Afemi, a newcomer to the program this year. The defense has been there since he started playing, but what's come as of late has been the offense. He's been in double figures in 3 of his last 4 games, and just talk about having his presence underneath the hoop for you.
Yeah, he's been really big for us, not only on defense, like you said, but offense. He's come along really well. Coach Schmidt, I know he works his butt off, just preparing us for that, and he's really worked well with Manny, and Manny's shown that he can play at this level.
And this week you face a couple of teams that you lost to at home, St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific. First up against the Saints on Thursday. How are you going to change things this time, a team that kind of ran past you here at Alterowitz?
Yeah, I think we just kind of overlooked them when they came here. We just thought, they're at the bottom like us. We're just going to come in and we're going to win. But just seeing that they came here and they were ready to play, and they're not even out of it. They're tied with us in 7th, and so it's a really big game for us, so we need to come out and play like we know we can.
And then Saturday, a unique opportunity. You guys get to be featured on Root Sports at Seattle Pacific. Your thoughts on playing a really good program there and also being able to play a TV game?
No, it was really cool. It's a great atmosphere. Last year we played them there, and it was just really fun to be a part of that. And the girls had a game here, and it just looked so much fun to play in, and I can't wait to get up there to play them.
Yeah, we've been working a lot on ball movement and tempo, and we're really starting to learn how to play with each other and understand when one of us is going to shoot the ball, when we need to go rebound, just kind of really getting a sense of what we're going to do on the court together, and it's just really making our offense click, and then we're just getting defensive stops and really just following the game plan that the coaches give us.
And then against Alaska, you guys came up a little short, but you competed all the way. You were down by as little as 1 point there late in the game, and you turned in some really quality minutes off the bench. Talk about your performance and how the team fought the whole game against Alaska.
I just do what coaches tell me to do. I mean, I play hard, and that's all you can do. Play for the team, and it was really cool to come in and kind of bring that spark off the bench, and then they basically hit 2 big threes at the end, and that kind of gave them the edge that they needed. Other than that, the stats were pretty even. We out-rebounded them. We basically shot the same percent from the three-point line besides those 2 threes that they hit at the end. And then they made 1 or 2 more layups than us too. So it was a frustrating loss, but we were right there, and we're getting better every day.
And how are you going to be motivated this week? A couple teams you lost to at home. First with St. Martin's on Thursday. What's the game plan against them?
Go out and beat them. We're right next to them in the GNAC standings, so this is a big game. And then, of course, we have SBU Saturday, and that's on national television. And as a freshman, that's pretty cool. It'll be my first time playing on national television. So it's just a very good opportunity, and I'm very blessed to be able to do what I'm doing.
Guys played out. Obviously, when we come out and make some shots, and we made some deep ones Tuesday night, and so anytime you do that, it just it seems like everything gets flowing. Obviously, when the ball's going through the net, you have better energy defensively, and that was the case. We kind of got that snowball rolling last Tuesday against Anchorage, and you know, I was more pleased with how they came out and how we came out and played the second half. You know, going into halftime, you're up 25. You know, you're always worried as a coach, how are we going to respond? How are we going to come out in the second half? And, you know, for us to come out those first 8 minutes and we took the lead from 25 up to 34 instead of, you know, what does happen sometimes where the lead goes from 25 all down to 15 and now you're in a game. So I was pleased with how we responded in the second half as well. So that was a good night for the guys. I felt like they had some confidence, and obviously they shot the ball and played very well.
And then Saturday against Alaska, tough setback, 66-61. Is a game you were in all the way down the stretch. You never got behind by too many, and you had chances to come back, just came up a little short.
Well, you know, looking at the stats were eerily similar. I think we both had the same amount of turnovers. We out-rebounded them. I think we made more free throws. I think we were both 4 for 16 from 3. It was just a very even game. It was a 1-point game there with about a minute and a half, or you know, less than 2 minutes, and their best player just came down and had 2 great possessions where he just basically took the game over, hit two big time shots, and that was it. You know, so it was a game that could have gone either way. Obviously we didn't shoot the ball as well Saturday as we did Tuesday, and that's going to happen. And we talked to the guys a lot about that. You know, you're not going to make 17 threes every night. You got to find different ways to win. So we were extremely competitive Saturday. Had a chance to win. Didn't shoot the ball well, and neither did they. But you know, like I said, their best player made 2 big time plays down the stretch, and that was the difference in the game.
And looking at the performance of junior Emmanuel Olafemi, he's played just 15 games this season, but he's already 5th in Yellowjackets single season history with blocks with 40, and that number also 11th in the career total. He's been a huge defensive presence, but what has really come late in the season is his offensive game, scoring in double figures 3 of his last 4 games.
Well, you know, that has been a little bit of a surprise that, you know, we knew he was a pretty good defensive player coming in, and we knew he was going to help us on the boards. And with his size, you know, he causes problems for teams defensively. Offensively, he's been a little bit of a surprise. He's been better than what we thought, better than advertised. And, you know, it even got to the point where we're throwing the ball into him in the post Saturday night, and Fairbanks was bringing a double team trying to get the ball out of his hands. And he's gotten better as the season's gone on. Obviously, early in the year, you know, he's fumbling the ball a little bit, you know, and had some turnovers, and he's really cut that down as well. So he's sticking with his strengths. You know, we want him to keep it simple. You know, go to his jump hook, and obviously being left-handed, going to that left-hand jump hook, going back to his right shoulder is a strength. But he's also shown that he can drop step going back and going back to his left side as well. So, you know, he's you wish that, you know, 15 games into a season, it would be Christmas. Unfortunately, we got a late start with him. He didn't get started until December, and this will help him down the road. But obviously, you know, we wish, you know, his development has been delayed because of that late start, and I think we're starting to see what kind of player he's going to be for the rest of this year, and then obviously into his senior season.
And looking at your opponents this week, a couple of teams that you lost to here at home. Talk about St. Martin's first on Thursday. A team playing really well right now in the GNAC.
St. Martin's playing really well. You know, obviously they're the GNAC team of the week last week. They went on the road, and anytime you can go on the road and win in Ellensburg, that you know, Central Washington winning there is a tough place to play and win, and you know, so you could make an argument St. Martin's is probably playing as good as anybody in the league right now, maybe with the exception of Western Oregon, who's number 1 in the country. But they're playing well. When they came here, they thumped us. They put it on us, and you know, we'll see tonight. They play Seattle Pacific tonight, and we'll kind of see where they're at. But you know, if they play well and if they beat Seattle Pacific, you know, then we're talking about a team that's really playing well, and they still have, you know, aspirations to make the conference tournament. So there is some things that they're playing for. They're not just playing for the development of their team, and obviously they're probably doing that as well. But they do have a chance to make the conference tournament, being tied for 7th and 2 games out of 6th. So there's a lot of things right now going well for St. Martin's. They were a tough matchup for us here. Their big kid really took it to us, and we're going to have to make some adjustments.
And then Saturday, a nice opportunity to play on Root Sports at Seattle Pacific. Just talk about that chance for the guys to be featured in a TV game.
Oh, you know, we did it last year. You know, anytime we can get on, I think anytime we can get on Root Sports, it helps the profile of the institution and the athletic department. You know, the women were on TV last week, and they represented very well. Obviously, that was the first time we'd ever hosted a Root game here at MSU Billings, and the crowd came out, and I thought it was it was awesome to see the crowd, and I think we were, MSU Billings was represented very well last week when we hosted the root game here, and so we want to carry that over when we go to Seattle Pacific, and obviously when you're on the road, the best way to represent the University Athletic Department is to play well and play really hard. Obviously, Seattle Pacific was a very good team, and we'll have our hands full. We played them well here, but they made some plays down the stretch, and we feel like we match up with them okay, but they're a winning program. They have winning players. They know how to win, and we'll have to play well. We're gonna have to play well moving forward throughout the rest of the season to finish the way we want to finish. We know where we're at in the standings, and we want to first and foremost we want to develop our guys and continue to get better. But we know if we could make a run these last 2 weeks, there's also that outside chance that we could make that conference tournament. So we don't spend a lot of time talking about that, but with these 2 games this week, we know that if we go and take care of business, that the chance of making that tournament is a possibility. So we still have something to play for this time of year, which is always good, especially when you're dealing with a young group. So it's an exciting week. We're looking forward to it, and obviously by ending it being on television is a great deal for our program and for the guys.